Hey, welcome to Saturday. It's today's vlog. As you can see, it's dark. I took the day off. I was chilling out after a kind of tiring week. But here we are, as promised, going through the Tears of the Kingdom trailer and also the Xenoblade trailer. I got that lined up. But you know, we'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. We're gonna do this. I said here and pointed, but you can't see it because I'm too big. Here it is. It's there now. It's everywhere. I just want to go through this like frame by frame and see what we can pick out and maybe theorize about. There's a link to the actual thing in the description if you want to watch just the trailer. Okay, let's go. It is big boy switch time. It does the click and everything. So straight off the bat, I mean, you can already see like Death Mountain's up there in the top left. That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. We're expecting that. But there's this green thing in the bottom left, and it looks like the kind of green stuff that's been swirling around Ganondorf in other trailers. So immediately I'm like, something's up. What the fuck is that? It's going to be some kind of new thing. It looks like it's right next to a patch of malice. So, yeah, we don't know what that is yet, but I'm hoping it looks like it might be a kind of mini trial or something. If I had to guess, I would say, because it's swirling around a rock, I would say that it's probably a mini trial or like a shrine or something. These fucking things, what the hell are they? I don't have anything... There's nothing that I can think of that would equate to that, to them. Like, because we already have Keese. I can't think of any Zelda enemies that can relate, that I could relate to these guys. Now, it could be a different flying enemy that, like, that they've reskinned, because they did that with other enemies in Breath of the Wild. The closest thing I could think of, maybe it's like a Via or something. And they'll split off into two smaller dudes. I don't know. I have no clue of what that is. Also, I've just noticed, actually pausing this and looking at it, this was where one of the towers was in the first one, in Breath of the Wild. Where the fuck is it? It's the tower that's in the mud, by the Lost Woods and the Deku Tree. Like, it's literally behind us in this shot. Where the fuck did it go? I'm concerned. Again, stopping. Kind of bottom middle here, there's some kind of Nazca Lions sort of thing. No idea what the significance of that is yet, but obviously we'll find out. But it looks pretty neat. They turn up again later, and like, they look nice. And if I just move my fat head out of the way, look at this thing in the bottom left. Look at this with the beams of light. Personal theory, new towers. We've already established that the other towers have disappeared somewhere. There's also one in the bottom right. Maybe these are the new tower systems. They look like they could also be like strongholds or something. So maybe they've combined enemy encampments and towers into one thing. And it's going to be like you have to fight your way up the tower or something, and then you get the map or something. I don't know. Interesting to find out. I don't know if we caught that just there. I'm going to go back a couple frames. Look, there's a big cloud in the top right. Almost like a thunderhead from a different Zelda game. Or it's probably obscuring something. My first thought when I saw this was Ganon's Tower. Ganon's Tower's turned up a couple times and stuff. But I'm assuming he's going to be in the floating Hyrule Castle that we've seen before, so I don't know what this is going to be, but it looks like it's obscuring something important, so there might be like a big dungeon in the sky or something, I don't know. Floating platforms, seen them before. This shot, right. This, I don't know where this is. I consider myself fairly well versed in Breath of the Wild. I've played it a lot. I We've played it on Sasteroid. I played it extensively on stream, and I've played it lots of times in my own time. I don't know where the fuck this is, and it's really worrying me. Because like there's like mushroom trees, and it kind of looks like a mushroom forest sort of area. There are like spores hanging in the air, and I'm like, where the fuck are we? My first thought when I saw this in the direct was that we were underground, and so there's going to be like 3 times the map we think there is. But actually, looking at the sky here, it does look like it's outside now, but just nighttime. It looks like. So that still makes me wonder where the fuck we are. I'm having no clues, which is, you know, on one hand it's great, but also on the other hand it's driving me nuts. Also, new Lizalfos. They seem to be like malice-covered Lizalfos, which adds a new dynamic to, like, because the Bokoblins, as we'll like see later, just have larger horns now, but the Lizalfos seem to be like possessed and shit. So I wonder if, in the deep lore that we're gonna get, that there's a, like, the Lizalfos are more, like, for a lack of a better phrase, sentient. Like, they can leave, or in Breath of the Wild they could just leave whenever they wanted to, or they were like acting on instinct or something. And so Gandalf is actually now controlling them. Maybe, who knows? Well, we will in May. It's straight away. Everyone's pointed it out. I haven't watched any other like theory videos yet because I'm busy, but everything I've seen on Twitter, everyone goes, "What the fuck is that big 3-headed dragon in the top right there? 3-headed flaming dragon." I can't remember the name of the boss from Zelda 1. So my theory is Gleeok from Zelda 1. The sprite doesn't really do it justice, but like that, the first thing I thought when I saw that was Gleeok. Like, this is a reskin of a Zelda boss that we haven't seen. I don't know. I think since at least the early 2000s, I think Gleeok was in an Oracle game. I think it was in Oracle Seasons, maybe. But yeah, that's the impression I get. Once you like deal enough damage to Gleeok in Zelda 1, like his heads fly off and start flying around the room and they're red, and it makes me think of that. So like a mini boss guarding the Bridge of Helia. Gleeok. Maybe. Fingers crossed, Gleeok. This is interesting. This is obviously Hateno Village again. There's that green spiral. Not again, but it's Hateno Village. There's that green spiral we saw right at the beginning of the trailer that I theorized was a shrine, and I've just realized that that's actually in the place where there is a shrine in Breath of the Wild. So, yeah, I think they're reskinning some of the shrines to be this green, glowy energy thing. What's also interesting to me is that this is the Hateno Tech Lab on the left here. I might have to move myself out of the way. There we go. This is the Hateno Tech Lab on the left, and it's a lot less busy and there's a lot less stuff than I remember, which does make me wonder how long the time skip is. A real testament of how long the time skip is how much Pura looks like a kid anymore when we actually get the game, which I'm assuming is why we haven't seen any of the other characters in these trailers yet. The Blood Moon's back, that's a neat touch. Same old Blood Moon stuff that we were getting. Hyrule Castle floating up. There we go. Bokoblins with larger spikes on their heads that look a little bit more like spears now, which is kind of neat. It's a good, varied design from the previous game. This is freaking me the fuck out. And now that I'm actually looking at this frame by frame, finally, this looks like something Sheikah. The eye's the right way up. I immediately thought it was Yiga Clan, but I think it's something Sheikah actually, which is interesting, which might mean this is a good thing, not a bad thing, like I immediately thought, but having tentacles come out from the floor at you is a little unsettling. Let's go back a little bit just to that quick clip there of the big boy. Look, there he is. He is big. If we didn't already have moblins already in base game, I would be inclined to say that this is a moblin. It's obviously just a larger kind of bokoblin, but it's interesting that they've varied the enemy type in that now there's like there's big ones as well as the regular ones that we had in the last game. So it's not just the same enemies. Again, there are expansions and variations on established themes. And also the big birds carry enemies now, which is, yeah, that's going to be fun, just dropping out of the sky on you. What the fuck is this Garganacle Minecraft creature going on here? This is a lot different than the seemingly golem-like things we saw that had like eyes and stuff in a previous trailer. Yeah, it really is kind of Minecraft-y. Reminds me of the Pokemon Garganacle. I have no thoughts about this other than, man, that's kind of neat, but what the fuck? How do? I have nothing to compare this to. Actually, I just want to go back to that shot of Ganondorf there. We're still assuming this is Ganondorf. So obviously he's in Hyrule Castle, yeah. This shot I didn't really register because it goes by too quickly, but it's actually stood on a pedestal free and praising the sun, I guess. But it looks like we're actually going to see how he's raising shit up. It doesn't just disappear in the background. And then, of course, the established Malice Eyes shot that we've seen before that's still really neat. There's the Nazca line thing I was talking about again. This looks like it might be Gleeok as well, because it looks like it's got multiple heads. And we can see a little bit more of those towers that were illuminated on the on the left-hand side of the screen there. I think they are new towers, now that I see them in, like, the light. Also, I think I got the trailer that doesn't have the Ganondorf voiceover, which is a little weird. Because I know there was Ganondorf voice lines. I like the fact that Ganondorf has lines, especially following this new convention that Zelda has, where like there are important cutscenes and they are voiced. He's a little too generic bad guy for what I thought, because obviously he's presented here as like, where is the clip? There he is. As the fucking mummy guy. He is the mummy. So his voice lines make him sound like a regular ass dude. It's a little disappointing, but maybe it means that he gets rehydrated. Maybe. I did have a listen to the French trailer. I know, I'm obsessed. And I meant to go and listen to some other languages to like compare the voice lines. But in French, he sounds a little bit more menacing, and I don't know if that's just because he's speaking French. Who knows? Okay, back to what we were doing. Where were we? We were here. That's a new kind of arrow. Link blatantly fucking misses. And it homes in on the big flying thing. Another cool thing is that glowing energy is back. It's obviously coming from his new funky arm, but it seems to be having the same effect as some of the slate plowers from the previous game. I don't know if this is going to be, because that's the thing, is like, is the arrow homing, or does the green energy make it home in? Who knows? Rail grinding, I noted this in the watch through, but that's kind of neat. I like it. Not a whole lot to say about this shot, apart from that rock that I might be in front of. I'm not. Is interesting. It's a nice shade. I don't know what to think about it. There's that last clip is there's more gyro puzzles, which I know some people are going to be thrilled about. I didn't mind the gyro too much in Breath of the Wild, so yeah. More Stone Talus. People like Stone Talus, but there's a new weapon type which seems to expand upon something we've seen before. So in a previous trailer, there's a clip of Link fighting this kind of goopy ceiling monster and it has this crocodile face thing that's on the weapon here, but it spits fire. So I'm wondering if this is like a variation of that is like a cannon, apparently. Who knows? I keep saying that. Eiji Aonuma knows. That's someone who knows. This shot is very interesting. Seen several people talking about it. I think it's Zelda. Seen some people online saying it might be the goddess Hylia. She's wearing kind of the same outfit as we've seen in some of the cave paintings in the previous trailer. It might be Zelda, it might be the goddess Hylia, we don't know. But she is reaching out and grabbing Link's gammy arm. Somebody else I saw also said that it was the original hero's gammy arm. I think it's Link's gammy arm. I don't think the hero from 10,000 years ago had a gammy arm. But he might have done. Speaking of, there's his gammy arm silhouetted against the sunlight. And it seems to have, as we've seen in previous trailers, the powers of the Sheikah Slate. And I've just noticed that what he's lifting feeds into something that's coming up in a second. This appears to be the Great Plateau again. Yeah, because there is a shrine in Breath of the Wild in the top left sort of place. So I wonder if they're going to rehash the tutorial from Breath of the Wild. Or just put you on the Great Plateau again for the first 20 minutes of the game and then set you free. I didn't know what Link was lifting originally. Now that I've actually paused and looked at it, it's very obviously a wheel, which then feeds into this clip of him driving a fucking car. This is crazy to me. I've seen brief glimpses of some people suggesting we might get to craft our own vehicles, which I think is unlikely, but looking at it, actually, it may be happening. We might be having our own Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts Zelda game, which is exceedingly strange to me. Yeah. Complete with hover vehicles, obviously, because why not? Go the whole 9 yards. Here we go with the interesting part of this trailer. Look at it go. There's crazy Ganondorf. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Now I get to pause this and I see new things. Mummy Ganondorf, shit exploding out of his chest. Kind of guessed this was going to happen. What I didn't realize was in the bottom left there, the Master Sword has already been fucked up. And along with Link's arm. So something has already happened prior to this that has started fucking shit up in the plot. And, you know, crazy stuff comes back around and Link's like, oh shit, my arm. This was an interesting detail someone pointed out that I was very interested in. Let's go through frame by frame. Goopy thing. Link. Here. With arm. That's a fucked up arm, my guy. Link, in the bottom right, drops the Master Sword. Link abandons the Master Sword to jump down the hole after Zelda. Which makes the Zelink shippers like myself go fucking crazy. But is also a very interesting detail that, building on his established character traits from Breath of the Wild, where it was very like duty and protect Zelda and like and all that pressure to be like the hero that he was supposed to be, or like the guardian that he's supposed to be, to then have that manifest as he's still protecting Zelda, but fuck it, the Master Sword, to get rid of it. Oh, at that point, the Master Sword might be useless anyway, we don't know, but I think it's interesting that he's then like, okay, this is fucked, let's go and do my job. Interesting. Also interesting that I picked the trailer with no voice lines, apparently. Which is strange, because there are interesting voice lines that have implications. Ganondorf has a generic speech about, like, being evil and shit. but Zelda makes reference to, and I wonder if I can find the actual line. Zelda says the line, "Please lend him your power." I had a conversation with my friend Chelsea yesterday about the significance of this line. Please lend him your power. Who the fuck is Zelda talking to? My personal theory is she's talking to Fi. We established in Breath of the Wild that Zelda could hear the voice of Fi inside the Master Sword. And at the end of the game, if you got all the memories and you made it all the way through, and you beat Ganon, you got the super secret ending where Zelda said that she couldn't hear the voice inside the sword anymore, so it must be significant with, like, maybe her powers are fading, or maybe the voice doesn't need to speak to anybody anymore, or whatever. Because Fi said she was going to sleep inside the Master Sword forever, right? What if Zelda is talking to Fi as a last-ditch effort? Like, the only person that is nearby has fantastical powers that we know not. I mean, we know she can fucking search for shit and all the stuff she did in Skyward Sword, but we don't know what she's been able to do since then, since, like, fully integrating with the Master Sword. Also, I mean, Breath of the Wild was the first time we realized she was actually conscious after Skyward Sword. So what if Zelda is saying that to Fi, and Fi's response is, okay, we're gonna merge with Link and give him the arm, because Link's arm's fucked up. It still seems to be usable, but it is fucked up. So what if the Master Sword is giving him, like, all the enhancements and stuff, and allowing him to do all that cool stuff, which is partially why the sword is so fucked up, because it's had to, like, transmogrify itself into Link. That's my personal theory. Fingers crossed. This is going to be a really long vlog, and I apologize, but I'm going to shift into Xenoblade now, because I want to talk about that as well. Okay, so here we go, Xenoblade. The Xenoblade trailer, I went nuts for, because Xenoblade. All of this doesn't really matter if you don't like Xenoblade. What's really interesting for me is well, for a start, the fucking roguelike stuff, that's really neat. But then the costumes they announce. So, if you haven't played Xenoblade 1 or 2, and you want to be free of spoilers, stop watching the video. Thanks for watching. See you later. See you tomorrow. Because I'm going to go big, deep Xenoblade 1 and 2 spoilers now. So I'm going to give you a moment to leave if you want to leave. Are you gone? Good. Okay, so the obvious ones. Shulk costume on Noah. Yep, fair enough. He is, for all we know, for all we theorize, the son of Shulk, or closely related to Shulk in some degree, possibly. Noah as Shulk. Lance is wearing Ryan's outfit from Xenoblade 1. Nice touch. He's obviously not related to Lance, but he is very close in characterization to Lance. That's kind of neat. Uni is wearing wearing Melia's Future Connected outfit, like an alteration of it, which is, I mean, she's also high end tier. It makes sense. Where it gets interesting is the Xenoblade 2 outfits on the Agnes lot. Mio, right in the back there, right behind Noah, is wearing Nia's Blade outfit, which makes sense given that she's the daughter of Nia and Rex. And that's fine, it's just a nice touch again. Senna is wearing Bridget's outfit, or an alteration of Bridget's outfit, which seems to confirm that she is in some way related to Bridget. There was a theory, well, what there still is a theory, that Senna is like Bridget's kid with the flamey hair and stuff. I mean, it's possible. That's also a nice touch. Tyon is wearing Jin's costume. And that's the thing that got me the first time I saw this. I was like, is Tyon dressed up like Jin? Yes, he is. Tyon is dressed up like Jin. Which is an interesting idea. And it raises the question about how Tyon is related to Jin. Possibly. Neat touch. I like it. This is the other stuff I want to talk about as well. The big story DLC, Volume 4 stuff, fucking crazy, man. Let's go back. This shot, I lost my shit. This person is, for a start, if you're still here because you don't play Xenoblade and you don't care, but you want to hear what I think, then I'm going to run this down for you. That's the Monado that this person is holding. The Monado was destroyed at the end of Xenoblade 1. The Monado does not exist anymore in canon. So how the fuck does he have the Monado? This person as well is very obviously Alvis from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Alvis, we haven't seen since Xenoblade 1. He didn't die because it was revealed at the end of Xenoblade 1 that Alvis was actually a computer processor and he's been a robot the whole time. And his whole thing was then he became a neutral party in the plot and he was there to like help Shulk self-actualize, and one of his famous lines is something to the effect of like, do you believe that humanity is ready for a world without gods? Which then makes it really interesting that he has Zanza's wings. Zanza, big bad from Xenoblade 1, like ultimate big bad, the twist big bad that turns up right at the end and no one sees coming, but it's actually really well foreshadowed throughout the plot if you're looking for Zanza. Those are Zanza's wings. So Alvis is obviously emulating Zanza in some way, and he has the Monado. So what the fuck happened between like the end of Xenoblade 1 and 2 and when this is set that Alvis feels the need to come back and presumably enact divine retribution as the embodiment of Zanza, or as an embodiment of Zanza. Also, his aura here really explains a whole lot of shit that no one really knew about. The Fog King from the Future Connected DLC had all of this kind of orange and blacks and reds, but was never explained. And now it seems like they are explaining the Fog King. It was Alvis the whole time, or whatever is controlling Alvis, if it's not actually Alvis, you know. Let's move on. Grown-up Shulk. Everyone, not grown-up Shulk. Like, bigger Shulk. He's using the Monado, Replica Monado EX Plus from Future Connected, which is nice. It was nice to see Shulk again after a time skip, because, like, Future Connected was a couple of years. But this is obviously after an extended period of time. The thing that really got me going was, look, there's my boy Rex. He's all grown up. Oh, I love him. I really like the altered design that calls back to his original design as a salvager. He's got the same kind of open vest that obviously snaps into a collar that his helmet snaps onto. And he's still got the grappling hook on his arm. The big thing going here is that he is wielding both Pyra and Mithra's sword in each hand, which is a nice detail, because they are still alive. I guess we're going to get the question answered whether or not they remembered who he was at the end of Xenoblade 2. But I like that he's turned into a dual wielder and he's using both of them at the same time. That line there from Rex, he's a heartless machine. again, Alvis is a computer processor. I did see a joke theory that Alvis is back because, and then he's angry because Rex banged both his sisters, but you know, it's probably not that. This is also interesting. This is Gower Plain, or what's left of Gower Plain after the end of Xenoblade 1. That's the bridge that Juju gets stuck on. I have spent a lot of time in this area listening to the music. I know it well. Also, a funky detail that someone pointed out on the subreddit was that, oh, there's a reason there's not a territorial Rotbart in this game, and that's because he's here, smack dab in the middle of the shot, and he never left. There he is. That's territorial Rotbart. He's been here the whole time. Different form of Noah. Interesting to see. Perhaps the original, just after the Origin event, where Mobius, we have no idea when this is set. This could be set way after Xenoblade 3, when the worlds have merged properly or something. We don't know. But older Rex, or older Noah, a different version of Noah, is really interesting to see. He's still got his Mobius form, his Ouroboros form, which is interesting. Which means that Mio must be there somewhere as well. The other thing that was really interesting in that is the line, killing Grandpa, I think, is it killing Grandpa? Killing Grandad wasn't enough for you. Grandad makes me think of Gramps, the Titan. So I'm worried about if Gramps dies. It does make me nervous. That's it from me. I thought the fucking, I thought the Nintendo Direct was the chunky video, and it was going to be the chunkiest vlog, but apparently my opinions cannot be merely contained in one video. So yeah, here you go, a 35-minute chonker of a vlog just to explain my thoughts on the Nintendo Direct, which, I mean, I'm excited for Tears of the Kingdom, man. I'm excited for the Xenoblade 2, but Tears of the Kingdom is going to come before this story content in Xenoblade, so that's fine. But I know the rest of the Xenoblade stuff's coming out on the 15th, which is next Wednesday. Very excited. Yeah, that's going to do it from me. Tomorrow is some more Sasteroid recording and some more D&D. So, yeah. You're going to see more characters on the vlog. And I will see you then. And I'm going to edit this and cry. Bye.